have this body that represents so many American traditions, so many streams of lived experiences that make this a great representation of our nation. But the truth is, we are still seeing so many firsts in this body. One first we should recognize is the one that Andy Kim exemplifies. He is the first Korean American to serve in this body at a time that Korean Americans have made contributions from the academics, the sciences, innovators, business people, farmers. But this is the first time the United States of America has seen a Korean American, the son of immigrants, stand in this body. I will tell you this, not just because of his heritage, not just because of the uniqueness of his presence on this floor, but because of the depth of his humanity. His demonstration today of the urgency that we stand up and allow people to see our vulnerability, see our frailty. In fact, in many ways, Andy Kim has shown that often the greatest courage is found in the depths of our frailty, our vulnerability, and our candor and honesty with our own struggles. I am a man of great physical stature relative to my smaller senator. But I hope everybody in America knows this. I may have a greater physical stature, but since I met him as a college student, I look up to my friend and my brother, a giant of a human, Andy Kim. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Senator from Mississippi.
Mr. President, I also rise to commend my new colleague of less than a year on his maiden speech. And I rise as the senior-most Republican on the floor at this time to congratulate him on behalf of my colleagues on the Republican side. Andy Kim is going to cast votes that will be considered way further to the left than those that I will cast. There'll be ratings that will rate him 100% and probably get me a 0. And on the conservative ratings, it will be close to the same in the other direction. But having watched him, having listened to him, having attended Senate prayer breakfasts with Andy Kim over the past few months, I know that he's someone whose heart is good and who will work with every senator and every member of the House to advance this nation. I'm glad that Senator Andy Kim mentioned e pluribus unum. And I've learned a history lesson. I had never gone back to Cicero, but I found it interesting that Senator Kim went back and found that the verb there that allowed many to become one was love in the view of Cicero. And it reminded me of perhaps a passage that he and I might have heard or read from the New Testament in some of our prayer breakfasts. And that is when Jesus of Nazareth was asked by the experts what was the greatest commandment. And Jesus answered, you should love your God with all your heart and soul and might. This is the first and great commandment, but the second is like unto it. The second greatest commandment is just like it, and that's love your neighbor. And what that means to me, as someone who's been a Christian since my early days in grade school, is that in order to show that you actually love God, you must love your neighbor. And so I appreciate what we've learned from the New Testament and Cicero, which brings us to the great importance of working toward a more perfect union. We'll never have a perfect union in this world, but out of many, we can become one, and it's the kind of rhetoric and the kind of leadership that we've heard from our young colleague today that makes me more and more optimistic about that. And so I commend my friend and my colleague, and I look forward to working with him in the coming years. And I yield.
All right, wanted to make sure we brought some of those remarks to you there from the Senate floor. We're going to step away for a 2-minute commercial break. Stay right here with us.
A devastating relapse of anti